Hello, Gold viewers from around the world. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and MC here at Gold. Today, I have a special guest with me here, Molly Peterson. Hi, Molly.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful to have you here. It's very exciting. You're part of a lecture pack here at Gold, all about unlocking milk production, keys to clinical assessment and management. It's so fantastic that you're going to be part of this. But before we hop into the topic, I want to ask you a little bit about your background. So you are an IBCLC, but you were a speech therapist and you created this wonderful place with Lactation. So talk to us a little bit about your background here.
I have a bachelor's degree in speech pathology, and it was in between undergrad and grad school. I was deciding, do I want to go to grad school? Do I want to not go to grad school? What do I do with my life? And I was working at a durable medical equipment facility at the time, and the Affordable Care Act happened. So it was one of those moments where it was, Molly, do you think you could help get these pumps to families? And I loved every minute of it, but I knew I needed more information. So I became a certified lactation specialist and I fell in love. I knew that's exactly what I should be doing with my life. And so I took all the steps to find a mentor and sit for my boards, and then have been working in private practice ever since. And now, I'm a co-owner of Wisco Lactation. We have 7 IBCLCs now and 1 occupational therapist who does a lot of body work and feeding therapy with us. So we've grown, we've got 4 locations, and we're very blessed and excited to be helping so many families.
Beautiful. That sounds fantastic. Having like the opportunity to work in different locations or having several locations where you can help families,
Yeah,
assist
it's great.
families. That's absolutely fantastic. Now, your topic is titled Low Milk Production Triage, Prioritizing and Developing a Practical Plan of Action. Absolutely love that topic because it's the triage part of it that I'm really attracted to, right? Like, I mean, we have to set priorities and where do we start? Sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming, right? Like low milk production, that's a big one. That's a big one that clients come to lactation professionals for, and we have to kind of act right away, right? So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's such an emotional roller coaster for families
Right.
because all they want to do is give their best to this little baby that they've brought into the world. And if they're struggling with production and are having a hard time feeding their baby, it can be crushing. And so I think the biggest thing is going into it with keeping their goals in mind. And maybe we
Mhm.
have to tweak things and maybe we have to change our plan a little bit, but always kind of checking in and asking, what do you want to do? Do you want your baby to be fed at the breast milk, and kind of prioritizing what needs to happen? And I think that's going to be A, we got to feed the baby, baby's
Mhm.
got to eat. And then
Yeah.
B, how can we work on increasing that milk supply and determining what issue is, or who is causing that issue? Is it a maternal issue that may be impacting supply? Is it a baby issue that could be contributing? Is it kind of like a dance between the two? So trying to find that balance of supporting the family where they are, but also working on the goals and increasing that supply.
Right. And it sounds almost like, and I think it's something you're going to mention in your presentation too. It's almost you're doing a lot of detective work there, right?
Yes, yes, you have to be a detective and kind of figure out what isn't being said, what is being said, ask the right questions, make sure that the families are understanding what you're asking, and kind of always keeping your little detective hat and magnifying glass out there to see what's going on.
Now, in the presentation, you will be sharing case studies, right? These are cases that you've worked with and that our viewers are probably might encounter in their practice as well. So that's fantastic, really like hands-on learning, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I love case studies. I think it's a really great way to learn. And so being able to like hear some information, but then see it or hear it in like a more tangible, realistic idea, I think it just kind of helps solidify what you're learning.
Yeah, it's like, always feel like humans are, learning through stories the best. And pretty much that what case studies are, right? Stories, I mean, real life stories, and so seeing that in action is I think a fantastic way of learning to present these case studies there.
I do too. I'm
Y-
excited.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, you talk of what I know is very important to you is also parental mental health, right? How do you integrate that into your practice when it is about low milk supply? Or low milk production? How do you approach that topic and make sure it's being also considered?
Yeah, I think it's just a big conversation to have with families and making sure that you're asking a lot of questions and checking in with them. Hey, if we decide that we need to have you triple feeding, how does that look? Would you be
Mm-hmm.
open to that? Can you handle that? And meeting them where they are and in a non-judgmental,
Right.
easy way that, you can connect with them and making sure that every step of the way you are keeping their mental health in the back of your head and in the forefront of what you're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's fantastic. Yeah, you mentioned triple feeding, that might not be for everyone, and then, having a non-judgmental, way of presenting that meeting families where they're at, that's what really it comes down to, right?
Yep, I totally agree. I think that, we know breast milk is amazing and we
Yeah.
want every baby out there to be on breast milk, but it has to be the goal of that family, not the goal we think that family should have. And so, having those conversations and keeping that line of communication open, and maybe those goals will change as we go, but making sure that we're always keeping in mind where they're at in life and their journey and their mental health is really important.
Now, I will put you on the spot here a little bit. I have a question for you. Since you started your practice and what you've learned over the how have you changed, how you approach low milk production? Has anything changed? Have you, just talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think a lot has changed. I think the biggest thing for me was meeting that family where they are. Like, it was always my goal to get that baby 100% on breast milk every single time, even if the family was happy with pumping and bottle feeding 20% of the time. If they were happy with 80% and I was pushing for 100, I wasn't
Mhm.
listening and I wasn't meeting that family exactly where they were at. So kind of respecting those boundaries of, hey, they're good with 80%, I should be good with it too. And
Mhm.
also keeping in mind, watching how that baby is doing at the breast and determining, is it actually low milk supply, or is it this little person that could be making this huge difference in effective milk removal, and trying to look at it from both lenses, I think has been really helpful.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Now, Molly, before I let you go, do you have any, like, maybe a little nugget of advice or wisdom for us?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with low milk supply is always going to be, figuring out who it could be contributing to that problem, how we can address it, and then working together with that family. And I say it in my presentation a couple of times, but when you hear hooves, it may just be horses, but it could also be zebras. And so, just trying to troubleshoot and be that detective to try to find out what's going on and how you can help.
Molly Peterson, thank you so much for chatting here with me. It's been such a pleasure having you here with me
Thank
today.
you so much. It was my honor.
And now, for our viewers, if you are now intrigued and excited to learn more about this presentation, Low Milk Production Triage, Prioritizing and Developing a Practical Plan of Action, which is part of the brand new lecture pack titled Unlocking Milk Production Keys to Clinical Assessment and Management, we invite you to go to Gold Lactation. Right now, this is going to be goldlactation.com. This package is part of the Gold Lactation conference coming up here in April on April 2nd. So you can find out more about the conference and this fantastic add-on package if you go to the website. And we hope to see everyone at the conference.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Molly, and thanks for everyone for watching. Bye-bye.